We were actually invited by Pastor Kelly. We had known the Kikers for a few weeks, I think, and we were just visiting in our neighborhood park. We were neighbors. That's how we met, and our sons became friends at preschool. So we had known them for a few weeks, and just visiting in the park one day, she invited us. At the time, we were not believers, but we had really been looking for community, like-minded community, and we had been talking, kind of going back and forth if we wanted to maybe try a church or not. So when Kelly asked, it was like, okay, I guess we'll do it. I guess we'll go. Our first time we attended church, it was I was nervous, just not really knowing what to expect, but it ended up being a good experience. Everyone was very friendly and welcoming, and it went good. We came back, so.
Well, so my first experience with the church was I came somewhat begrudgingly. It was in 2021. There was still all the COVID stuff and the masking. The church experience was not like what I had growing up, and so because of my stubbornness, I felt that everything should be exactly how I had it as a kid, and it wasn't. Looking back on it now, I could see that God put me in this church for very specific reasons, and for that I'm very grateful. But there was definitely a lot of resistance initially. I would say since coming to this church, some of the changes in my life have just been the ability to actually surrender my life to Jesus. I remember when we went to the growth track the very first time, there was it was some sort of assessment or spiritual gifts test or something like that. And I remember I scored a 0 in the prayer category and a 0 in the anything dealing with children category. And fast forward a few years, I'm an Awanas teacher and I'm teaching these boys to pray aloud. And just to see the fruit of that, for God to do that through me has just been incredible. It's one of the greatest treasures of my life right now, honestly. So from somebody who was so prideful I couldn't even put my hands out to receive the blessing at the end of service, to somebody who is grateful to get to be a shepherd of these young boys and help teach them things I wish somebody would have taught me when I was younger. It's just a tremendous joy.
Yeah, since coming to the Purpose Church, I became a believer again. I've learned the importance of knowing the Word of God and the truth of His Word, and just being able to apply that to my daily life as a mother, raising 5 children. I'm someone who runs at a pretty high level of anxiety with many things in my life, and just having that peace of Jesus has radically changed my life. Being able to, just knowing that I can lean on Him, give it all to Him, surrender to Him, has just, greatly impacted my mental health, and just pray that all of that trickles down to the children.
I would say the power of an invite or even a conversation. You're going to plant a seed, and before Pastor Kelly had invited us to church, there were other people decades prior that had planted a seed. And I can think back and remember those specific moments when a conversation or a meeting or something took place that just never left my memory. And then finally it was the big invite, and then the rest has been history. But you just never know what that conversation might do in somebody's life. You can plant that seed in the ground, but God will make it grow. So you've got a bag full of seeds, sow them, and in heaven we'll find out just what kind of fruit we produced.